Hello, everyone. Um, First things first, let me do sound check. Um, Sound. Um, so let me know if it's good, and then I think the image is very good. Thank you. Thank you for checking in. I just decided to do this live stream maybe an hour ago. So if it comes unscripted or non-prepared, that's okay. So I'd like to just share some few things that have been going on my mind. So as you know, you can still ask questions about the project and that kind of stuff. But today's discussion, I'd like to center it upon uh, our mindset as Africans in Africa and also Africans in the diaspora, and how that benefits or negates some of the progress we're trying to make, and also to link that to uh, doing businesses with non-Africans and that kind of stuff. And then finally, I'd like to wrap it up with so how do we plan for the future? Um, so anyway, but I hope everybody is doing fine. It is very cold where I am. It's about 10 minus this morning. So I hope wherever you are in the world, I hope it's a little bit warmer. But I'm looking forward for this live stream, and because I think it's a very, very important topic, and I'm not the only person that think about these things. Um, but anyway, is I mean, one of the most important thing I want us to like admit and also like understand is that we have to be realistic in 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 the conditions that we live and the people that we are engaged with. And yes, I'm all as black as it can be and Afrocentric as one may take it, but there's certain realities that you have to just accept at least in our lifetime that especially when it comes to business, investing money and that kind of stuff. You just have to be smart about things, okay? Because the worst thing is to just work hard and take all your retirement money and then go engage with groups of people, and the only qualification is they're as dark as you are, and losing everything that you've sacrificed for. I don't think is the best way of doing things. Um, so, but we also have to think about it that our brothers and sisters on the continent, just have a different mindset of um, just how they see things, and it's something, and sometimes even exceed beyond the mindset because for us that were born in a continent, we bring these attitudes and sometimes this behavior to our respective countries. I mean, outside Africa, and some of us work hard to either balance it out or just absorb ourselves from this mindset. And so I think we have to be very, very careful, especially like our African American brothers and sisters, or the Africans that left the continent not by choice. It is upon us to educate them because we are kind of like in between. We understand certain things on the continent, so it is very important that we guide them and also help them understand their expectations. Um, because you want your expectations to meet your reality. So I think we can come in and guide them in that aspect. So and I always make this statement, through my videos that don't work with families. And I think some people don't understand why I say that. It's not that I'm not saying go to war with your family or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, especially the people on the continent, is we have to, as painful as it is, we want to admit, we have to understand that not everybody is your family is rooting for you. For the fact that you left the continent, you left the continent, and supposedly you are doing so well for yourself, that create some kind of animosity. That's just real. And then once you are able to start investing or doing projects or something like that, that is also a reflection on them for quote unquote them not being able to do something for themselves. So you would think that they would say, hey, my brother or sister is busting their butt and trying to do something, and the least I can do is to help them have that dream come true. But that is not what the reality is. The reality is you stick your head out there, and that's a countdown. Okay, you start strategizing about, who's going to take over the project before you even get midway, right? So these things happens, and also a lot of our people, especially on the continent, are not used to having significant amount of money. And so the sad thing is that when they come across that amount of money, the west part of them tend to be what comes out. And so we have to be very, very careful about this, because at the end of the day, for me, my attitude is I will work with whoever can get a job done. That is my attitude. And if that person is a foreigner on the ground, I roll with that. Because um, yes, I do have my preference, my people first, but you also have to deal with the reality. None of you, like right now, if I should open a company right now, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna employ for the sake of it your own people over there when you know this behavior and mindset, okay, is just gonna shut everything down? Or you gonna say that, look, whoever can do it, they run the company. So people have follow this model of saying, hey, you know I'm Africa this, I'm Africa that. And you go down there and you meet somebody just like you connect, you talk very well, sold you a dream, you bought it, and then you realize it was a mistake down the road. And for some people, they cannot recover from that. So my attitude is like, it has to go beyond the skin color. It has to go beyond that. We're talking about character here. So it has to go beyond that. And we have to be very, very careful, um, about that, because that is why the continent is at a stagnant. Not because there's not resources, not because that there's not a lot of Africans that have in the diaspora that have the technical know-how, um, to go there and develop the continent. The continent is like that because of the mindset that we have. Because if we should all go back with our skills, you guarantee we're gonna meet resistance from the very people we're trying to help. And these are realities. These are something that I feel like is ingrained and is going to take several generations to eradicate. So Because if you look at our leaders, for example, we can pick a country on the continent. You can see that the investment deals they make with other countries, right? I mean, they started way back from IMF and USA aid and all those things, right? I mean, you don't have to be an intellect to know that these deals are terrible for the continent as a whole, or even for that specific country as a whole. But the leaders are part of the community, and they also grew up in this certain mindset, and so it is a situation that every man for themselves. So, and because they can easily be bought, your enemies take advantage of that and exploit the country and the country so far as a whole. So, and these are things that are real that we have to acknowledge that it does exist. It does exist in each of our respective countries. So we have to plan and be smart about this thing. It's not something that we have to be too emotional about. That it's just something that we have to understand that, hey, in my lifetime, this is the stuff that I have to put out with. And so hopefully we make decisions that, yes, we want the country to develop. We want the country to grow. We want to alleviate all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you are an individual. You can only do so much. And there are other people that have stake in the condition of the country because it's benefiting for them, and they don't want that to change, right? Even at the expense of majority of the people. But you hold people accountable. People elect leaders, and if you don't like your leaders, there's various options you can remove them. So, and if you keep electing similar leaders with the same mindset and behavior, then you should hold yourself responsible. You see. So we shouldn't go like on this crusade run unless we are really ready for it, and also unless you have prepared something for yourself, for your future generations, that when you're no longer there, they can build upon that foundation and they can take it further. Unless you've done all that, don't even poke your head out there. Don't even poke your head out there. So because at the end of the day, you develop your family, I develop my family, everybody has developed their family. Then after us, the next generation that comes, they'll have the same mindset. It's easier for them to work together than us going there right now, trying to change this mindset that is so ingrained. And most of them doesn't make sense. Or it's just self-interest driven. And so it's just, to me, I think it would be a waste of time and energy. I know there are other people involved in that aspect. That is their call. But I think for some of us, we have to be realistic and be strategic in how we engage in these things. Okay, if you started any business in Ghana right now, who and you want that business to outlive your lifetime, are you realistically going to find a local that's going to run it effectively, efficiently, right, and be reliable and dependable? I mean, you got to be realistic with this. These are questions you must ask. And if you can find one, great. But if you can't find any, what do you do? And let's say there's a foreigner over there that you can go into this business and grow the business. What do you do? Okay. For me, my attitude is I work with anybody that's going to get a job done. Because I can give you an example right now. On my project, okay, I work with, there's some jobs that Ghanaians don't want to handle. So Togolese came and did a job. There's some designs that the Ghanaians stopped doing. The Nigerians came and did a job. And then among the tribes in Ghana, I think almost everybody worked on a project. So, and for me, if you can do it, you get an opportunity to prove yourself. And if you couldn't, that's it. Because I didn't have money to waste. So we have to make these decisions. Anyway, if you want to contact me, you can send me an email through my channel. That's one, and then I'll get back to you. So we have to be smart about these things, and as we think about this thing going down the road, because hopefully it's not just you want to finish your house and that's it. Obviously you want to have something that generates income, and if you are going to be moving permanently in Ghana, okay, then you have oversight. But if you're going to spend a considerable amount of time outside, that's a big challenge, right? So that means the dynamics, the team that you are involved is very critical. It is very, very critical. And we have certain behavior that, hey, it's not my job, so, and the owner is not here, so I'm not going to do what I need to do. That is floating out there. There are a lot of people behaving in that way. So it's very, very important. And so we have to think about these business deals and links and all that kind of stuff. And so as you put your team together, you have to make sure somebody's bringing um, great input and something of greater value. By the end of the day, you want people that have the same thought process, that have the same vision, the work ethic, and can withstand this corruption, this habit of doing some fraudulent activity. And that is a big challenge, because if a child is born into this environment and this is all they see, that child grows up, gets into politics or whatever it is, you know, they're only going to duplicate. It's like what they've known all their life, right? So these are like, you can't expect anything different. Yes, there is an exception, but it's rare. People develop the thought habits and behavior of the environment. So if we go in there and everywhere you have to go, you have to pay money, you have to do all the stuff, and now it's like the norm, then think about it. If you open a business and you put someone there, you know what is going to happen. I mean, this is a reality, right? You know what is going to happen. So this is like very, very, very important things I want to talk about it. We have to deal with the reality of working with people back home. And so and we cannot shy away from it. We cannot hope it's different. We can This is not something we can even pray about it. And this cut across all ethnic groups to all disciplines. The corruption is deep everywhere. It's untouchable, from the religious aspect to the political sphere, everywhere, to the education, everywhere is deep. Is deep. So your team of people you put together must be like on your mindset level. Like you vibe on that. And so I think once you have that, then you can like reduce the chances of you not being successful. Um, and so that's one of the things that, like, I want to talk about, because why would, like, for example, the Lebanese started coming to Ghana. I mean, they started way back, but I think they started coming around the 70s and 80s, right? When Lebanon was in turmoil. And now it's like you go down there, they've got into the businesses, they've opened the malls, the grocery stores and all that kind of stuff, right? And for me, I never understood this. You live on the continent, you're born there, you speak the language, you breathe and live the continent, and then somebody comes in there, outwork you, create something. We have foreigners coming there that do not speak any of the languages, dialect or anything. They come in there, they outwork you, and then they do something. And then you sit out there and you said, oh, all these foreigners are invading. Well, you know why they are invading? Because you have all this opportunity and you refuse, because you refuse to think, and through your work ethic, to take this opportunity and make something out of it. So somebody comes in there and sees that opportunity and maximize it. So blaming somebody else is an scapegoat. Okay, it's an scapegoat. Yes, they come in there because, yes, sometimes they have government contracts that they come in there. They are shady government contracts. But who voted those people in? You did. So don't blame the outsider. Take responsibility for yourself. And so if you keep electing people like that, then the country is going to be at a stagnant form. Okay. So we have to be accountable in this aspect. So as we are working on our project and we want to start some kind of business, it's very difficult. I know in terms of like somebody mentioned here, the trust issue, right? I think that is that. But it's fair to say that for us that left the continent, we can say for most part we are on the same frequency in terms of our thought process and how we do things compared to our brothers and sisters locally, right? And so it's for us, I think, to be the leaders. I think to set the standard without compromise, set a standard of behavior, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. And yes, you're gonna get resistance. It's gonna happen because that is the way of doing things for them. And so, but you have to push that through, or you link up with other people on the same frequencies. And then when you develop something in Ghana, you go into business, you bring people on the same mindset, you know, and that kind of stuff. So that is one aspect. So the business team is very important. It's very, very important. The skills alone is not enough. It's the character. The character is very, very important for people to have long vision and be willing to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term goals, right? And a lot of people are not able to do that because they live from week to week, day to day. They can't see 5, 20 years down the road, right? So that is a reality. So don't go to the continent, like my, African American brothers and sisters, and just it's good. Rediscover yourself. I'm all for that. Know where you came from. Reconnect. With the continent, the culture, and stuff like that. But anything that has to involve money, you have to be very careful. And you want to be smart about things and work with people that can help your dream come true. And it may also be they will be non-Ghanaian or non-Kenyan or non-Tanzanian, whatever that case may be. But it's business is business, and stuff like that. Because I think this mindset is going to take several generations. So it is upon us to do something to build, a foundation for our kids and grandkids, for them to someday to stand upon that and move our people in the continent forward. Right? I don't think we'll be able to change this in a lifetime. We'll try, but I think it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before we do that. So for me, I'm all about, for my lifetime at least, yes, share the knowledge and stuff like that, link that with other people, have discussions, invest in things, but also, but my main goal is just building a foundation for my next generations to take it from there and then take it further. And that, because I know in my lifetime it took several years to develop this condition that we are in, and it's gonna take, and the idea that it's gonna change it in a few decades is not realistic. Okay, and so that is the meat of the potatoes, because I've watched a few videos out there, and I've had conversation with people, and I thought that was very important that we have discussions about this, and the challenges, which I think we should embrace them. We should embrace them. I don't think like just because it's not rosy, you put your dream on hold, or you quit or anything like that. You just find ways, because there are people even on the continent that think about these things as well. So the challenge is about meeting those people, and then doing something together. But But I also think too, it's like, business is business. It's not an unconditional trust, because people are people, and you don't know people level of, aptitude and perseverance. And so you always plan wisely, and take care of that. Another topic too I wanted to talk about is, the because I started thinking about the Nam 1 incident in which a lot of the Ghanaians were defrauded, and this went through the whole sphere, from the average businesswoman from the market all the way to people in government, to the religious personnel and everything. So this actually tells you the idiocy of most Ghanaians, right? So you have this guy promising 7%, right, and 12%, 15%, whatever, right? And if you are paying attention to anything, you know that that is a red flag. You are not getting that anyway, right? And they didn't even vet the guy, right? But because a lot of people don't want to think for themselves, they rush in, and then, right, they got burned very fast. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's as old as anything, and they put their money in there, right? So here's something that, and this is like, I'm not happy to tell you this, but I think I need to tell you this. Here's the thing: the way the Ghana financial system is, if you're outside the country, put about only 5% of your money into, and probably put it about 2 to 3%, two to three different bank institutions. Okay, and I say that because the beauty is that if you need money, you can always wire money from outside and use it. Because of the lack of accountability and all that stuff, if you make the mistakes of moving all your money and put it in Ghana and something happens, you are not getting it back. That's a reality. You are not getting it back. And also, you, even if you're getting this rate, right, that they give you, right, inflation and the conversion rate will, if you factor that in, will put you at a loss if you convert the money back to euros, pounds sterling, or dollars, right? That money is only useful if you want to use the money down there. But if you need money outside Ghana, you have to convert it. You will, for every dollar you've put it in, you will have to put $2. You have to pay $2 to get the money back, right? So financially, it doesn't make sense, because I've gone to Ghana and I've seen bonds, and I've crunched the numbers, and I've seen it sounds wonderful. But if I have to convert it in the rate of inflation is so crazy that you are losing money. Okay, a lot of people are not telling you this. You are losing money. Okay, the only time it makes sense is if you are taking that CDs and use it right there. Okay, so we have to be smart about this. Okay, I used to be a banker for 9 years. Okay, and I've gone to, the last time I went, I opened a bank account and I put some few money in there, because I have sat with bank managers and asked them questions for like an hour, and the whole banking system did not make any sense to me. It did not. It was not convenient, and it did not make any sense at all. There's no guarantees for anything. There's no insurance to protect you for anything. And you know me, I don't do demonstrations. I don't have time for that. Um, if I need to go get my money, I'm gonna do what it takes to go get my money. But I'm not buying car tires. I'm not doing that kind of stuff. So we have to be very, very careful about that. Uh, so either you keep it outside, you can use apps or other stuff. Worst case, use bank to bank. Transfer the money. You pay what? Well, the transfer fee is what, $50 in the US. Doesn't matter whether it's 5,000, 10,000, whatever. That's the rate, 3 to 4 days. You get your money in Ghana, you use it. You use it because of, instead of that, don't put a $50,000, $100,000 in Ghana account because you don't know what could happen. You just for me, it's not something wise to do. If you live in Ghana, then I can say maybe you don't have a choice in this things. But for us that have other options, I would say keep a few $1,000s in there here and there. Do it that way. You need money, you transfer. You get it. You can send money to get an empty account. Through Wave, you can send about $1,100 a day or something like that. Just transfer as you need it. It's much more, I think, efficient and headache free, um, and stuff like that. So I think we need to start looking about that. And I don't think a lot of people are talking about this thing. So whatever that is happening, like NAM one and all that stuff, we can use that as a lesson, as a lesson. Okay. And if you are okay, when it comes to investment or all kind of stuff, okay, you can just do split your asset. You can say, okay, I'm gonna do 20-25% aggressive investing with high risk. Okay, I'm gonna put half in like a low risk that I know is guaranteed, get like your 0.5%, 1%, just keep it over there. And then the rest you do like medium stuff here and there, right? And also you have to think about your age, right? If you're younger, you can recover, right? I mean, granted, you have like a stable job and stuff, but you have time. If you are 50s and 60s and stuff like that, that's not the time to be doing aggressive, unless you have some play money. You have some money to lose, that is not greatly gonna affect your lifestyle. But if you're in your 20s, early mid 30s, you can do some aggressive stuff. So we don't want to be out there just following the new thing. That's what goes in Ghana. Is the new thing that comes, and everybody, just jump on board. Okay, we have to be smart about these things, and get all the details and convert it, run the numbers, how secure, how guaranteed this thing is. Okay, so it's unfortunate, because I think what I heard was, the NAM1 people. I think what they are trying to do is the politicians and the security personnel that invested, they are the first dip. So the season of asset will be sold and they will try to recuperate all this money. So the poor businesswoman that worked, 20, 30 years and invested her own money in there is not going to get anything, unfortunately, right? But so these are lessons that we can learn. There's no free lunch anywhere. And if somebody's promising this incredible returns, because I think Bill Gates would have invested for 7 and 12%, or Warren Buffett would have done that. Okay. That just, I heard about that and I'm like, no, you're kidding. This can't be true, right? So we have to, you can be greedy, but at what cost, right? So if you want to take 5% of your money and go do that thing, that's okay. But you have to be willing to lose that 5% without you financially destroying your future or destroying your kids' future and that kind of stuff. So we have to do that. So that's a reality in Ghana. You know, that's unfortunate reality in Ghana. So keep your money outside, transfer as needed, okay, and do that. And it only takes a few hours to get the money as you transfer, sometimes few days. And also whatever bank account you open, um, preferably go with a bigger bank. That is, at least one, you can do one private big bank and one like government, owned or whatever, Republic Bank or something like that. But it should be money that you have to be willing to lose, because you just don't know. You gotta start thinking about these things, and then same thing with here. Spread your money in a few banks and leave the retirement stuff alone. Uh, you know, and always put more than you think you need. As you get older, your expenses gonna, with, it's gonna add up, with health and all that kind of stuff. And you also want to live comfortable. So, if you think you need 20%, plan for 35%, that kind of stuff. So we have to do that. We have to start thinking about this thing, but we have to be realist. It's not about, because I'm pro black, pro Ghanaian, pro this, so you go there and reckless. Okay? No, no, don't do it. Everything you do for your life that involves money, your time, you must think. You must use your brain. Don't use your emotions. Use your brain to make those decisions. And if you can work with somebody else, you work with somebody else. If your own family member is not cut it, they not cut it. If your own people ain't cut it, they ain't cutting it. I mean, it's just, that's the way it is. Until you find your own, part of your own people that are cut out for it. So you do what I think we must think about this. Okay. So because it's hard, the difficult thing for us, as Black people, is to work with each other is very, very hard. Is very, very difficult. All the other groups that at one point were like at the bottom have risen because they were able to work together. They have differences, but they have a common goal, right? The common goal for us Black people is liberation from our conditions, no matter where we find ourselves in the world. But it's hard for us to work together, because some of us have this terrible, mindset. And also, basically, I say like there's some Black people, unfortunately, are of no use to the race, to us. They're of no use. They've been damaged. They've gone so far that they're of no use to us. So we have to, and there are some out there. So we have to be careful. The chances of somebody burning you is more likely like somebody that looks like you than others. So we have to be smart. Yes, we have to have preference, for our own first, but that's just preference. You know, it's just, but and then we move on from that. And then we are smart. We are smart about these things. Okay, so anyway, back. So this is one of the things that I wanted to just talk about, so we don't get caught up in any kind of stuff. And if you already have like a lot of money in Ghana already, use that money to build your project, and then keep your pound sterling, euros, dollars here for now. And then find a bank that allows you to transfer money through app when you're in Ghana through that account. And then when you get down there, you do it as needed. You do it as needed. I think instead of just trying to take everything and put it over there, I think it's a big risk. So it's a big risk. So number one should be like a wake up call, because they're not gonna get their money back. For most of them, they're not. It's just the reality. They don't know that. They're just not gonna get their money back. But somebody will not tell them that's what is gonna happen. But it is tough lessons, and we must learn from that, and adjust, so we don't find ourselves in this situation. So you don't have to work with family. You don't have to. Um, and you'll be fine. You don't have to work with close friends. You'll be fine. You don't have to work with your own kind. At the end of the day, what is important to you is, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to accomplish? And who can I join with, or who can help me do it? And wherever you find that person, you do it. You do it. And then it becomes big. You can hire your own people and then train them, and give them certain things to do. But you must do it. You must, at all costs, right? We owe to our children, you know, to build a foundation for them. So in that process, we don't have time to waste. And and we don't have time to waste. And also, like, we just have to be smart about it, because um, I mean, you don't want to work 30, 40 years and then, you go meet somebody, and then it's like you're back to zero. I mean, that's terrible. That's terrible. So that is the reality. That is the reality. And this is not just unique to Ghana. I think it's unique to a lot of countries over there. And so we have to be very, very careful, and be smart about things. I, I go to Ghana and I hear all this stuff. This is the next best thing. For me, if I haven't sat down and analyze it, and I haven't taken my time, I'm not gonna go jump in, because that is the next best thing, right? This not one guy. Had they done any research on a guy, had they done anything, they would have known that this thing is a no-no, right? But Ghana is just like the sheep leading the sheep, and people don't think for themselves, and people have refused to think for themselves. So whenever somebody comes out and says something, the flood open, and you know they just walk through the gate. And so that is a challenge we're dealing with. That when you force people to think, they just refuse to think. They just want to keep on the same belief set and the mindset that, unfortunately, is not progress. It's not helping us progress as a people. And so that is what we're fighting against. And so the day we change that, you know, until we change that, our progress is going to be real slow. And for us, don't get into the savior mindset. You influence your people within your circle. Build something for self. Build something for your family. Connect with people that on the same frequency like you are. Build that network, grow, build, and do something. Then after that, you can do your other charity work and all that stuff, um and do that. But don't go in there thinking that you have this new idea and you want to rescue the population. Trust me, it will be it's not going to work. It's not, at least not your lifetime. Okay. So check email. Okay. And then let me know if you have questions. So project, when it's on hold a little bit, because right now all that is left is just furnishing and all that kind of stuff. And then and so but things are okay. So use reconnect to the people that are sent to you, because the hardest thing in Ghana right now is finding reliable people, right? So I have done the work, and then I found people that have helped me. So work with them, use them, use the services, because you know reliable people are very rare, and stuff like that. So just don't waste your own time, by going out there, trying to find somebody else and stuff like that. So work with that, and vet them also. Always work on negotiate on the price. Let me know what they are charging you, so I can tell you whether it's realistic or not, and then we can take it from there. So it's just that let's deal with the reality that we live in. That our people are very difficult, um, in certain areas to work with, and we have to adjust for that and build for now and for the future. So our kids, maybe your kids, my kids, in a better position, to feel like financially they don't have to get into corruption to live their life. Then maybe they will do things because it's the right thing to do. Okay. So I think that is what we can do. Build, you build, I build, everybody build little by little. Later they link up and change the continent. So don't waste your time on politics and that kind of stuff. Is just a distraction. um, and so and don't put your hopes and aspiration for a political leader to change your life or help your life. You are responsible for making your life better. It is your responsibility, and you and your kids' life better. So yes, a strong leader, a reliable leader, and all that stuff helps create that environment. But at the end of the day, there's no excuses why in your lifetime you didn't build something for your kids or stuff like that. I think there's no excuse. So we must embrace that and be smart and work diligently and link up with people regardless of who they are. If especially in the business aspect, you work with people that can do the job. Period. Regardless of who they are, stuff. If they can help you build a dream beyond that, you work with them. And no matter how close the person is, like I have some of friends, I'm very, very close to them. Like they mean more to me like bloodline, but we just can't do business together. It's because we just have different way of doing things. That doesn't mean it should affect our friendship or anything like that. But it's just like that. In some friends, we can go into business together. So it's just about that, and be smart. Keep your money here, put a little bit in Ghana, and then wire as needed, transfer as needed, and so that you don't find yourself in a situation where the customers at number one and that kind of stuff. Okay. Um, and so let me put the email here. Frame homes. So there's a contact information there for some of you that need that. Yeah. So I can go on. So what I want to do, maybe I'll take 10 minutes and then we can talk about other things. So somebody wants solar. Yes. So uh, well, so solar panels. It's like so do your homework. Obviously, there are some in Ghana that you can use. I know like Germany also has like good panels to use. I don't think there's a really a big difference in the panels. The big thing you want is more like getting the battery storage, right? So the inverter, whatever they call it. And so that is what you need. You want to always have more because you can always add more panels, and then you don't have to add another battery storage. So get more battery storage, and they are making it very, very efficient. I know at a certain point I have to do that for myself, maybe in the next 2 years or something. They are very expensive, especially for the story building. If you want to do it for the whole house, but I think in long term you save money. So just do your homework. Get a good inverter, and then a good storage. The batteries, they are making them smaller. It used to be very, very heavy. They are making them smaller now, and it still holds a lot of power to use for the house. So, but if you are thinking about doing that, have your electrician wire those in. Do the provisions now, and so you can usually how it's set up is you have one electrical for the whole house, and then there's another side for either generator or solar panel. So you just switch it to the knob, switch it to that side, and then that will kick in. So that's that. Yeah. So land registration, yes, that takes a lot of it takes a long time, but I think you should do it. I think it's very, very important. Verify first, please. Please verify. I don't care if you're buying it from the top pastor in Ghana. I don't care if you're buying from your mom or dad. Take the site plan, go to the land registry, verify who owns the land, talk to people in the neighborhood. They can tell you whether there's litigations and that kind of stuff. And then, it took me 8 months, but I always think like get that, get a registration. You may have to send somebody over there like once a month, and do whatever you have to do and get that document. And then what I do, you get that document. what I do is like I bring it here with you, scan everything, do a copy, have one electronic copy, and then you can do a photocopy and have it in Ghana or something like that. So then you have the original document somewhere here. So then you can do that. Um, so it's just about that. It's just about doing it right, so you don't have to go back and have this issues. Land litigation is a big deal. It's a very, very stressful. You're gonna pay a lot of lawyers' fee. It probably is not gonna go anywhere because they don't tell the truth. So and the people know that you are outside the country, so they waste your time and a lot of money and that kind of stuff. So just avoid that and just go for it. Borehole is also a good option. Before you do borehole, have them come and test to see if there's water potential on the ground before you spend all this money and find out that there's nothing there. So have them do that. You should get a quality pump over there and to bring the water up and that kind of stuff. Also, the cool thing, like like back in the days, people have to mount the water tank high, especially if you have like story building, so they can get the pressure. You don't have to do that. Like if you look at my house, my water tanks are lower. It's all about getting a very good pump that is very powerful to put a pressure, increase the pressure to send the water through the house. So you don't have to do that because I think it's like aesthetically it's not pleasing to have this water storage tank like blocking the view and that kind of stuff. So things are changing, which is good for us. So it's just about getting something quality. Um, and then so my pump is working very well. It's able to push pressure adequately through the whole house and that kind of stuff. So fencing, inexpensive temporary fencing. Um, So you can do one way you can do is you can do 4 layers. Like if I always say secure the land, you can do 4 layers, and if you want after that, you can just put like wire fencing on the top, maybe 3 or 4 of them, and just to let people know like somebody has occupied the place. And then when you're ready, you can remove the we call them like wire gauze, whatever stuff like that. Those wires they use for keeping like herds of sheep or cattle or that kind of stuff. And then when you're ready, you just build and continue. So I would say look at this thing as long term, plan adequately, do it first the right way, and so and then so then you don't have to go back and stuff like that. So vet people, and be smart, be smart about that. Okay. Any more questions? So basically that's what it is. Keep working. 2019, stay focused, and and so do that. Electric. Somebody asked about electric fencing. I think electric fencing aesthetically is much nicer. Is more of a deterrent also compared to the razor wires, in a sense that the razor wires kind of look like prison like, and stuff like that. These electric fencing wires have sensors in them, so if it's being disturbed, the alarm is pretty loud. It's gonna like go on, and people are gonna know there's something going on that. So the prices are very, very reasonable. I was surprised, very, very reasonable. So get a good installer. You might have to be careful the installer because especially around the gate, you have to make sure they don't have contact point on the gate, so that because there have been situations that people are touching the gate and they are getting electrocuted. So when they get there, they will probably use like a plastic as a contact point. So just make sure the persons know what they are doing. But it's a good option. So you can do 4 or 5, between I'll say the minimum 4 wires and the max maybe 6 wires or so. Yeah, so they do have, the energy efficient like the PVC ones, the double glazed one is a little bit more energy efficient in Ghana. So you can use that, um, or you can bring some from here. But all those things, it's like, when it comes to window, the biggest thing is just like making sure there's no gaps around there, right? So it's just the installation to seal up to make sure that the windows are custom fit, it's fitted right and that kind of stuff. So and but you want to go like double glaze compared to single glaze window, and just to keep it in. Um, but I'm yet, to test all the stuff that I've installed, and then I think when I come back from Ghana this year, I may have, I may have some ideas about, what worked and what didn't work, and all that kind of stuff. But you can do that, because I know buying the windows outside can be really expensive. So um, and stuff. So I mean, so you just have to think about it. It's more about the installation, making sure everything is just fitted and there's no gaps for air to either come in or exit. So anyway, yep, I wanted to share this. Thanks for taking time off your busy schedule to just check in, and so we can have these conversations as we keep developing various projects and stuff like that. At a certain point too, I do a video about some of the business options and ventures that maybe we need to start thinking into. But that one I'll probably do that while I'm in Ghana or when I come back, because then I'll have fresh ideas on what is currently going on, and that kind of stuff. So but you can send me the questions and all that stuff, and then we will take it from there. Stay warm wherever you are, or stay cold wherever you are as well, and we will keep in touch. I'll do this video as necessary, and then also, I mean, you can also send me a comment on maybe if there's other areas that you want me to do a next video on, and then we can do that, so then it can be a better use of your time. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.